Antetokounmpo. Williams, stout defense. Threw it to himself. Oh! He's eviscerating the Celtics. Phoenix has to foul. Antetokounmpo throws it down.
Kawhi Leonard and Giannis Antetokounmpo are two of the most exciting players the league has seen on the basketball court in recent years. So, in today's video, we're going to be covering the debate on which of these two generational players we think is better. What better place to start this video than by comparing their statistics? Starting with Kawhi Leonard. Leonard, over the course of his career, has averages of 19.2 points, 6.4 rebounds, 2.9 assists, and 1.8 steals per game. This is spread across his years on a few different teams, including his time as a rookie with limited playing time, which might slightly affect the numbers. When it comes to Leonard's totals, he scored a whopping 11,085 points, grabbed 3,689 rebounds, he also has 1,672 assists, and 1,013 steals. His efficiency over his career isn't too shabby either. Kawhi shoots a career 49.3% from the field, 38.4% from behind the arc, and 85.8% from the charity stripe. And finally, his career highs in a single season came in all different years. He peaked in points at 27.1 back in 2020, then he averaged 7.3 rebounds in 2019, he dished out 5.2 assists in 2021, and he took away 2.3 steals per game all the way back in 2015. So all in all, these are some solid stats that tons of other players would love to have. Alright, now let's cover Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis averages 21.8 points, 9.4 rebounds, 4.6 assists, and 1.2 steals per game throughout his entire career. Each one of these numbers is a little bit better than Kawhi's except for the steals. Now as for his totals, Giannis has scored 14,321 points, he's grabbed 6,149 rebounds, dished out 3,020 assists, and taken away 764 steals. So once again, everything there is in Antetokounmpo's favor. His efficiency is better from the field overall, but not anywhere else. He shoots 53.5% from the field, but only 28.8% from the three-point line and 71.8% from the free throw line. Antetokounmpo picked up his highest points per game average in 2022, scoring 29.9 per game. Then he averaged 13.6 rebounds in 2020. His best assist year was in 2019 with 5.9 per game, and he had 1.6 steals per game in 2017. It's been pretty apparent when looking at the numbers that Giannis is the winner of this category. He averages better averages over his career, and his career highs are better, and he also shoots better from the field overall. Next, we're going to cover the head-to-head matchups between these two superstars. Giannis and Kawhi have seen their teams square off against one another a total of 20 times coming up to this season. 14 of them came in the regular season, while the remaining 6 came in a single playoff series. Out of both the regular season and playoff matchups, Kawhi has the edge. Leonard's teams have won 9 regular season games out of the 14 and 4 of the playoff games to knock Giannis out of contention that year. When it comes to the head-to-head stats, though, it's just too close to call. Giannis averages 20.1 points, 10.4 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and 1.1 steals per game in all 20 of these contests. Meanwhile, Leonard averages 22.8 points, 7.4 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and 2.2 steals. So each player has better averages in 2 of those 4 categories, but Kawhi has helped his team win more games when it matters most, and of course in the regular season too. So I think it's safe to say that the Claw gets to take this category and even this one up. Now, accolades is another category we're going to dive deeper into. This is one of the most intense accolade matchups we'll ever cover too. Giannis, on one hand, has an NBA championship. He's been named into the All-Star game a total of 6 times throughout his career. Antetokounmpo won the NBA MVP award not once, but twice. He came away with a Finals MVP award and a Defensive Player of the Year award too. Then, as for his All-NBA team selections, he was on 6 of these teams. 4 of them saw him on the All-NBA first team. He also made it onto 4 All-Defensive first teams and 1 more All-Defensive team. Simply put, the dude has seemingly done it all in every single category. And just to make it that much crazier to think about, all of that was accomplished in just 9 years in the league so far. Now, as for Kawhi, he is a 2-time NBA championship winner who's won the Finals MVP award both of those times. He's only been named to 5 All-Star teams so far, which is actually fairly surprising. He's yet to win an MVP, but does have 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards compared to Giannis's 1. Leonard has made it onto 5 All-NBA teams, with 3 of them placing him on the first team. He's also been on 7 All-Defensive teams, getting first team in 3 of those. Oh, and we can't forget that Kawhi did get awarded the steals leader in the league once throughout his career. He's been able to do all of this in 10 seasons, just 1 more than Antetokounmpo. So this is one of the hardest decisions to make. Kawhi has 1 more championship and Finals MVP award, and he has 1 more Defensive Player of the Year award. However, Giannis has 2 more league MVPs, more All-Star appearances, more All-NBA appearances, and a championship of his own too. So this is awfully tough, but I'm gonna go with Giannis here. But if he hadn't recently won that championship, this might have gone to Kawhi. But with Giannis's recent championship and those other accolades on top, I think he wins this one. Next up, we're going to cover the topic of team success, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be the player who averages the best stats of your life and the team wins just 10 total games or something. That luckily isn't the case for either of these dudes. For Giannis, he's taken the Milwaukee Bucks into the playoffs 7 times out of his 9-year playing career. Plus, the first few years that he was in the league didn't really see him participate much on the floor. Giannis also took the small market Bucks into the NBA Finals, a series that they won for his first ever championship. Winning a ring in a small market in the NBA is a ridiculously hard thing to do, especially without building a super team like some of these other squads have done in the past. Now, as for Leonard, he's helped make it into the playoffs in 9 out of his 10 years in the league. Practically every time you have Kawhi on your roster, you're making it into the postseason. But I think the same can probably be said about Giannis nowadays too, so keep that in mind. Leonard has 2 championships with 2 different teams, the San Antonio Spurs and the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto one was 10 times more impressive though, because he spent just 1 year there and instantly made them champs. You really can't go wrong with these 2 players when it comes to their team's success, but I'm going to give this category to Leonard simply because he does in fact have those 2 rings to his name, and I think that's the whole point of the team success category. Alright, now before we move on to the next category we've got planned, we just have to show you all some highlights from these players' careers. That way you've got a better understanding of what they can do out there.
Their focus is a little bit off starting the third quarter.
Giannis to the left. Zubac's re-screens. Leonard for 3. Giannis.
There they go. They put their guy in a good position.
Joins Leonard. The 2 Clippers in double figures. Giannis back the other way.
Focus defensively if you're the Clippers. You know this team
is trying to keep him quiet. Leonard to the rim. Lays it in. Giannis to put the finishing touches.
Are supposed to win at home. Doesn't matter who you're playing.
Oh, mama, Leonard to the right.
With the steal, he has Giannis behind him. Gets to Leonard. Ovation.
Why Leonard, the steal by Lowry, and the exclamation point here.
Good work defending around the rim, just taking up space. Giannis. Yes. Oh my goodness. I want to see where he took off from.
Boots' rubber band, he's stretching out, hanging loose.
These are 2 players who really have varying play styles, but are more similar than you might think. Giannis is a type of rim-running forward who practically does everything you'd want from him. He's a leader, a winner, a great playmaker when called upon. He's an excellent rebounder and scorer, and he protects the rim like it's nobody's business. His shooting does need some work, but it's clear he's putting effort into improving it so he can be an all-around threat. There's a reason why he's called the Greek Freak. Now, as for Leonard, he's called the Claw because he's one of, if not the best defender that the league has seen in years. The guy can guard every position on the floor and put people in hell during individual matchups. You never want to go against this dude on the other end. Plus, Kawhi never says a word during these games, he just lets his play do the talking. So, now that we've covered all of the basics in this debate, we get down to cementing a winner. At the end of the day, we're going to say that Giannis is taking the award for better player against Leonard. This might shock a lot of people, but his success is there with the team, and his numbers are across the board better despite playing 1 less season. Leonard does play better defense, and he's got that 1 extra ring, but Antetokounmpo makes it up everywhere else. So let us know down below what you think and tell us whether we made the right call or not.